Yo, what up? It's the No Level Cap Podcast. It's me, Sage Ashford. It's Rakeem Beck. It's Devin Butts. It's Terrence Flowers, Will Coleman. And this week we're reacting to the Xbox Partner Preview. We're doing it a little after the fact, but none of us have seen anything from it. So if it sucks, you'll definitely see it in our reactions. Of course, since they say Partner Preview, I think it's assumed there won't be any major first-party games here at all. So don't expect any kind of Starfield news, no Blade, no Halo, no Everwild, no Gears of War, no Microsoft Flight Simulator,
no Fable. Yeah.
No Fable, none of it.
No Fable.
It's just 25 minutes of games like Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Wo Chang Fallen Feathers was confirmed. So stuff like that. So we'll see what's going on. So without any further ado, let's just hop into it and see what they're talking about.
See what they talking about.
What y'all got?
Xbox Partner Preview.
Talk to me, partners.
We starting with the M. Pegging at 18.
You make it sound like they about to start fucking like off the bat.
Hey, they Peggy at 18, man.
Hold on now. That don't go on here.
I keep coming back to this page. The author's clearly awake. It's like he's warning us.
Alan Wake 2.
What?
I was gonna say this feels kind of Alan Wake-ish to me.
Just for the
they
DLC.
ain't waste no time. They gonna get John Wick to be an Alan Wake game? So they can just look at each other?
Agent Kieran Estevez responding to an AWE alert in the
John Wick
vicinity. I
and
need to
Alan
speak
Wake.
with the Marmons.
But the water could not flow. I became trapped, stagnant. The pressure kept building. Looking for release.
Is this supposed to come out this month? So I guess a release date will be revealed here. Today.
It's crazy that there's no release date for stuff like this. Like,
Yeah.
developers are just waiting to the last second now.
DLC, I guess, is still handled kind of depending a little differently.
Holy shit.
That was actually pretty cool.
Trippy. That was pretty trippy.
So is this a different protagonist?
Looks like it.
It combines with the old house, right?
Yeah.
Outside in a forest. Not
Oh.
here. Not here. Not here.
Yeah, that's
The Lake
okay,
House
October 22nd.
expansion.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the
Find
characters
out
from
how
Control.
Remedy is bringing a darker tone and horror elements to Alan Wake 2's second expansion, The Lake House.
Now we just need the Alan
exclusively
Wake
on Xbox
Control
Live.
buddy cop game.
Buddy cop. Okay. Grand Theft Auto 6.
You said what?
Maybe after a year after it comes
Hold
out.
on now.
Silent Hill?
Bloober
They got something they working on?
team.
Chess, and then somebody.
Same Silent Hill too. I know that.
There's another Silent Hill project. I don't know if Bloober Team was working on it though. What the fuck?
Look like Dead Space.
I was gonna say it does
that's
look
what I
like
was
Dead
thinking.
Space,
That's Dead Space looking.
but that franchise is dead.
In space.
Callisto
Okay.
Protocol?
Don't say that.
No. DLC for Callisto Protocol?
No,
please. Another quadruple A.
they're
title?
making Redacted, I think.
Oh, okay. This is I guess this looks really similar to Dead Space. Holy crap.
It really do, bro.
I mean, unless it's like the next Dead Space, like 4.
No, because Dead Space didn't perform well.
Right. Yeah, the remake didn't perform well.
Unless they
Unfortunately, 'cause it was really good.
That's what I'm
Said
saying.
effort.
Like, it was really highly reviewed.
Hey, well, if
This-
you have PS
this
Plus,
suit
you
almost
can get
remind-
it this month for free.
You know, it should almost remind me of BioShock.
Yeah.
That look like a Necro.
You know what I'm saying? That look like.
Oh, PS Plus is free? Bet.
All right, bro. You holding this one?
I'm very curious as to what this is. Like, is it a new IP or what?
This is kind of. This Dead Space.
That's
Dead Space. That's the freaking.
I'm about to find out.
Checkmate?
It's Space Dead.
It's dead.
Cause he got the little. Hold on now.
Galaxy Alive.
Intergalactic rigor mortis.
Intergalactic rigor mortis is a good one.
What in the world? Chronos.
Chronos, the new dawn.
Boy, that's his new IP.
Interesting.
That's definitely something new, bro. This is flat out new.
Huh.
It's Ed Ace.
I'm interested.
I know, right?
Oh, they got gameplay?
Cemetery universe.
What?
Okay.
What?
Tombstone Galaxy.
Okay, looks like a Blooper Team may be cooking now.
Boy, if we
I
get another
swear,
game
bro.
like Dead Space that does better than Callisto Protocol, man,
It's
that's
clear
gonna-
Dead Space need to stay dead.
I'm gonna be happy for this, like, bro. That-
Double
that-
Double 11.
That look good.
What happened to Double
What
Fine?
is this?
Okay, this is in-engine footage.
Oh, I know what this is.
It's dark
I know
as
what
all
this
get
is.
out, and I'm scared.
I've seen something about this game before.
I'd like to see something too if they lighten shit up.
Yeah, I was
I
kind of
know,
thinking
right?
that. I can't
Gimmick.
see anything.
That's the gimmick.
That's
You're
the
playing a
gimmick.
shooter in darkness.
Oh, okay.
And you're like using glow effects and lighting and
That's actually kind of cool in my head, but at the same time, I ain't gonna hold you. You ain't gonna have me in this jumping and freaking out because somebody ran behind me and I ain't
if you ever
realize
see the comment section for the video on this, you'll see what everybody else says, and they pretty much saying the same. It looks like paintball, actually.
Brink
They
2.
do like
Oh,
It's like paintball.
Blind.
blind fire.
Oh, today? Huh.
Early access.
Blind
so they wanna
Fire
do
is
that.
a unique
Be
shooter
blind.
that
It's called
removes
Blind
light
Fire.
from
They
the
weren't lying.
equation. Find
You
out how
know
the
what that
project
you know what the
came to
gimmick
be
of this kind of makes me
exclusively
sort of
on
think
Xbox
of
Live.
another like gimmick like indie first person shooter that game that's on Steam called Screen Cheat.
Never heard that one.
It's a
Are you
it's a
Yakuza?
4-player like co-op game. You have to like look at the other person's screen to like really do what you're gonna do.
Man, Japan had a good year this year.
Man, did they?
Yakuza like a pirate.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty neat. So,
Johnny Depp
I-
over there.
Are they gonna show the ship combat off?
Kinda look like Johnny Depp look just a little bit.
Good customization. Hey.
Already better than Skull and Bones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can walk? Oh my god.
That's
I don't know. Do you think this will bring out the Assassin's Creed Black Flag people?
It's a little too silly for it for
It's
them.
too silly for them.
Yeah,
But
They
man,
want
it
more
looks
like
so cool.
simulation, but it looked cool as hell.
yeah.
Look how much fun this looks.
Because I know there's
All
people
they
who
get-
like they fuck heavily with Black Flag, and it feels like there's been no pirate game since then that's kind of scratched that itch.
Nope.
We got pirate tournaments?
We got
Oh,
yo,
that's crazy. Samoa Joe.
this ain't Raymond Law.
They just
Hey, Sagema.
more than anything.
Hey.
Hey man, go ahead and make Sagema playable, man. Do it for me. That's my boy, man.
You can summon sharks.
Sharks and,
He got
and monkeys.
summons?
I ain't gonna summon no monkeys, but I'll summon some sharks.
I ain't gonna tell you what I'm gonna summon.
Lie, man.
I'm gonna see who's the best.
I ain't
Get
gonna
earn
lie
my
to you,
respect.
bro. I gotta go ahead and get to this guy's game and go ahead and
Oh, they
man.
moved it up. That's gangster. Woo!
I love him. I
That's
love him for
gangster.
that.
Isn't
That
there
was the
something
thing
coming
that-
out at the
Takes
end of February that they probably didn't want to smoke with?
There's everything coming out in February. I
Yeah,
don't know why
there's
they
a lot
didn't
coming at the end of February.
move out of February. That
They
was the
just
one
ain't
thing
gonna
I
move up
saw
February.
that I was spoiled on.
More fantastic than Frankenstein. It came from the sewers.
Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Ooh.
Wait, no. This could be that that other game.
Oh,
we're
this is-
thinking
Oh,
about.
Oh, this is
Now,
Oh,
PI.
right.
A clue, a lead.
It's like FPS, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's like a boomer shooter.
Man, that looks so cool.
wow.
That is such a cool concept to get this art style and do this.
That looks dope as hell.
Eureka. This is a real.
Kind of
Oh,
reminds
you
me
gotta do
of
the
when
detective part.
13 first came out.
Yeah. I remember man, I still love the original 13. I played the hell out of that game. Jack
Time to play detective and connect the dots.
Man, it's aesthetically looks fucking incredible.
It really
What the hell?
The fact that
Doom
this,
in a cartoon.
yeah, the fact that this is in 3D is what makes it even crazier.
Yeah. I like the way they're advertising this.
Mouse.
Now,
PI5.
PI5. You know what? You got me, bro. I'll definitely give it a shot.
As long as it's mechanically sound, yeah, I'm sure
That's charming.
people
Yeah,
like
bro.
it.
Like it's
I
charming.
got respect
as all
for
get
it.
out. I like Cuphead when they did their thing. I'm pretty sure I might like that.
This is curious.
Probably doing a slight quick recap before they go into the next one.
Shit, you
You doing
still
a
got
recap already?
20 minutes.
I know,
What you doing?
hey,
You know the games you just saw? Just getting clarification on those.
See him again.
Let's go to the next part now. Vader?
It did have that sound to it, didn't it?
Subnautica?
Subnautica? Yeah.
I was thinking this Subnautica here.
Oh yeah, so like Subnautica. Does like Mama Morales for real.
All right, bro, get me out of the water.
People love Subnautica. This gonna be hype.
Yeah, people will definitely love Subnautica, bro. You in the dankest, deepest, darkest parts of it, bro.
All right, man.
I wonder if
Gotta get back to New
I
York.
wonder if he's related to the character from the last game.
Okay, this looks cool.
Okay.
I hope this isn't Subnautica. I hope it's something else that's underwater and fun.
There's been quite a number of underwater games as of late, haven't there?
Yeah, there have been quite a few of them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, baby.
Oh.
let's
You
go.
got a giant
Wherever
squid
you
down
at,
there.
you should be- oh, this is
Subnautica.
just-
Subnautica,
Subnautica
2.
2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess
People finna jump
because the
on that
last
now.
game wasn't called 2, it had a different name.
Uncharted waters in
Below Zero or something like
Subnautica
that.
2. Adventure
Yeah, I
alone
think it
or with
was
friends
Below
as you
Zero,
try
Deep
to
Freeze or
survive
something.
on an all-new mysterious alien planet. Learn more exclusively on Xbox
Okay.
Live.
Is Xbox Wire like their like?
It's like PlayStation Blog.
Okay.
Animal Well.
There we go.
I am Shadow Donkey.
Animal Well?
Animal Well
Yeah,
is
this
a
is
game
Animal
of
Well,
many
yeah.
It's
shadows.
gotta be that. Console release, I
It's
guess.
a game where every animal casts a shadow, and it's a game
It's
where
not out on
you
consoles
cast a
already?
shadow, and sometimes
No, it's only been
It's
on.
not on Xbox.
I think
Can
it's
cast a
yeah.
shadow.
I think it's only been on PlayStation
At
and
times, you must step
PC.
out of the shadows
Oh,
and
okay.
reveal the secret which has been lurking.
because I know
in the
this is on
shadows
PlayStation. I
all
got it on my wish list
Because
because I
if
want
these
to get it.
shadows are allowed to remain within the shadows, then who knows what kind of shady shadows.
I like how
stuff the
Donkey is
shadows are
doing
gonna
the
be next
narration.
in the shadows.
Man, he's saying a lot of shadows, man.
What we must always remember is
Pac-Man?
that without shadows there is no light.
All right.
These
We get it.
shadows are evil, but some are not, and we have to look into the shadow of the shadow of the shadow
Ugh.
to realize the shadow of the shadow within. So basically, what I'm saying, Animal Will available today on Xbox.
Congratulations.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
Shadows. Hold on, what is this? Wait a minute.
Oh, Eden
Oh,
Zero.
Oh,
Finally. Okay.
Eden Zero. All right, what does the game look like? Okay.
All right, look, man. You had 3 years. This should look better than this.
Like the budget of all their games.
Fairy Tail look better than this, and that don't look that good.
Same game.
To be fair, it's a sequel.
It is Fairy Tail 2. Still, though, like, what's going on?
Konami
Like
got
a
these games,
Musho
though, don't
game.
I'm not gonna lie, the faces are kind of giving PS3.
I was just saying, what is like a PS3 game?
What the hell happened here?
I mean, it's a space adventure that starts out. What you mean, man?
Man, cut this video off, man. Next call.
Oh my god.
It's like Eden Zero a lot, so this is kind of a bummer.
I'm
Just
so
the
tired
graphics-
of anime games get like just shafted, man.
Man,
You did some
Konami.
generic
Next
arena
caller.
game where it looked like
He said next
PS1.
caller, please.
Come on, man.
Eternal
Okay.
Strands.
Okay.
Oh,
This looks
okay.
much better.
Show me something.
Oh shit, that's sort of dope. We on the strands of Eternal.
Did this have a date?
No, it didn't.
Was it just
I think it was just early
2025?
2025. I think.
Yo,
Yeah, it didn't have
these
a
elemental
definitive date.
interactions are cool as fuck. Yo, you can freeze the wings on the dragon. See, this is how you supposed to introduce the game with some new concepts, man. That's what I'm talking.
Actually, looks like it played like Fable. That and the game Phoenix and War Horizon.
Yeah, I can see that.
Looks like Shadow of Colossus with all the climbing,
Holy
or like
shit.
Dragon's Dogma a little bit.
Except with way more magic emphasis.
I'll take that
And
too.
elemental interactions.
Man,
The world is your
this
way.
might be the game that Forspoken was trying to be.
That look fun. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, this game looks fucking sick.
Yeah, it
Every time I
does.
see it, it looks better.
Let me get up in there with it, man. I ain't scared.
Coming early.
Still early
2025.
Still no release date.
Coming for that
No
ass in
doubt.
2025.
No direct date.
Just tell us something out of February. I don't care when, but it can't be in
In-game
February.
footage and cinematics. Work in progress.
I have seen the gods shatter.
The hell is this?
I know, right?
I don't know what this is.
I have seen the hunters awaken. Steadfast heroes among
No,
It's
Oh,
like
this ain't-
Celtic
no, this-
mythology?
and
No, yeah, this ain't
treacherous
the game I thought it was.
as
Never
well.
mind.
I don't know
I,
what
I
this
dig
is.
it.
Hold on now. Hold
You
on
got
now.
build variety.
Say the combat action
I
looks
definitely-
pretty snappy.
The throne's
Yeah, it
gauntlet.
does.
A lot of different weapons
Blades
and magic.
torn asunder,
It doesn't necessarily look like Souls
and
combat.
all
It doesn't look like
that
Souls
still
combat at
live
all.
before
Thank God.
the end.
This look like something else.
They war,
This look like what
struggled in
the
anguish
Square game that fell hard
and
was supposed to be.
despair.
Babylon's Fall.
Yeah.
I don't get Babylon's Fall vibe from this at all.
This look like exactly. This is like it would have should have been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Definitely like, nah, this is
saying,
what
like,
it should
this
have been. We wouldn't have had this problem.
Almost like that,
Just one person playing
that
the
one
game.
RPG project that disappeared.
What would this be though? I'm trying to pinpoint it. Unless it's
Might
something
be
brand new. Man, he just why
It's
you
gotta
just
be
call
new.
it like a Rajang?
The Ring of Eldens.
But I
Project.
have
Socks.
the
It does look
empire.
very Elden Ringy.
Yeah, because I thought it was something Elden Ring like too. That's why I almost
I mean,
said it.
it,
but I said
it
no.
shouldn't be at this point.
So
They're
it's
done
got to
with
be
that.
a roguelike element to this because he getting revived and whatnot.
Mistfall.
Mistfall Hunter.
Mistfall Hunter. Okay.
Dark
Mistfall
trousers.
Hunter crosses Souls-like and extraction games to make for something
Yeah,
extraction
brand new. Find out more exclusively
Extraction?
on Xbox Wire.
That's not at all.
Hold on,
what
I didn't
was
see
thinking.
any sign of
I know,
multiplayer
right?
there. So is that a single player extraction game?
How does that work?
They have those. They're not common. What's that? Red River or something is a single player extraction game. So I mean, like, and the loop itself, I could get into single player. Like, I don't necessarily need to be playing against people. I just want to
I
like
got
get
you.
in, get some loot, get out. But I didn't
Oh,
see
okay.
any sign of multiplayer.
This is
None.
an interesting format.
Yeah.
You saw what you just saw. Okay.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought this was
Is
Dungeons
this,
of Hindenburg.
Dungeons of Hindenburg? Nope.
It looks like
No.
Got the vibe
Race.
it. Yeah.
Heels of Hindenburg. Okay, racing on bikes. Okay. It feels like it's kind of almost like an open world style game with racing.
I don't know if it's just
Bike.
got bikes, but it's looking like
I'll be real with you, man. Cycling through an open world.
Wrench.
Riders Republic style.
You can customize your bike
Man, that,
anyway.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That open world idea of Riders Republic and the crew, other studios need to try that shit. That shit seemed cool as fuck.
I did like when I played a Riders Republic. I always intended to go back.
It was straight. When I played that, I liked it too.
I like bought it, so I mean I could play it whenever. I just keep. There's always some story game that I'd rather do.
Uh-oh.
What on
Going
earth?
on here?
Uh-oh.
We got Dungeons.
Wheel
Wheel
World.
World. That's a cool title. I ain't gonna lie.
Welcome to the wheel world, buddy.
Welcome to the real world.
Kinetic game.
What did you see?
What in the demons is going on here?
This is a co-op horror game. It does like a streamer game.
Yeah, this is definitely one of them streamer games.
Best debut 2020.
2020. So this game's been out already?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like that prop game or something?
It's just like, it ain't Devour or nothing, is it? Okay, so it's so it's been out.
I like that.
Nice way to, put it there. Is this Phasmophobia?
Maybe.
Could be.
It just dawned on me. I was like, that thing in his hand made me realize that.
I like this trailer. I think
I do like
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Phasmophobia, you called it.
I was like, this gotta be
good
that
stuff.
now.
I never played that.
Dearest child,
Neither have I.
this island
But I watched
offers
you play
everything
it.
you may need in your precious life.
Big fluffy dog.
Vast forests, roaring
Okay.
rivers, and
See what you're
mountains
putting
of
down.
broken ice. You are old enough now to know that for every bit of goodness in this world, an opposing force exists. In the heat of the earth resides a darkness you cannot fathom.
This is a very
Demons
double A
as
looking
old as
game.
time, my
Yep.
child.
But it could still be
Do
fun.
not doubt.
Yeah.
Even
What the
a light
fuck?
like yours can be
The more y'all show of like the
Art
figures,
style is-
it's like the character
faces.
design.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
That I know you will.
Something's up. Okay, what we looking like gameplay wise though?
Probably like Kenna Bridge of the Spirits.
Sete, be resilient.
That's a good comparison.
Be
That's a very good
brave, my
comparison.
son. Stay in the light.
Look like
with Babu by your side.
yeah, Kenna Bridge Spears is a great comparison. Huh?
This island.
I was gonna say, is it what the last?
So there's a
one
lot
is
going
supposed
on.
to
The
be?
Legend of Babu.
Legend of Babu. I got a
Okay.
feeling it's gonna be
Babu.
one of them games that's gonna stick out with some people. I feel.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Speaking of
shit.
sticking out. Oh,
505.
505.
Oh.
Although I swore to protect it,
Oh, this is a Chinese game, isn't it?
now I walk the path
If it's Chinese, Phantom Blade Zero.
Phantom Blade Zero here? Huh.
I will not rest until all traitors are silenced and
That's
our
some-
stolen kingdom return. Who dares to question my will? Standing in the
Why
way
does that
of
look so cool?
reduction.
This is
Nah,
not
this
Phantom
that-
Blade Zero.
This Wo Chang.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what is Wo Chang?
Wo Chang? Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what is Wo Chang?
Wait, apparently it's not. Apparently it's
This is
something else.
It's the sequel to Wo Long? Too Long?
Y'all saw Wo
We saw a
Chang.
while back with the chick with the.
Yeah, you saw that.
This looks gorgeous.
Okay, y'all cook it.
I swear y'all in the kitchen.
Don't
You
stop.
whipping, seasoning that chicken.
Hold on now.
A staff
Okay.
with a gun on the end? Hold up, wait.
I got some magic behind it. Oh snap! I ain't gonna lie, Chinese game been kicking ass lately.
That's what I'm saying,
They just look
bro.
fun.
China and Korea pulling out the stops.
All right,
Oh my
please just
God.
let this be a regular single player game and not like something else.
Battle
I think-
Royale.
Stop. Please don't say that.
This is our new extraction game.
From the creators of Fall Guys, we bring
Dark Fall Guys in China. Ooh, like that monster designs. They look really cool.
No, this has got to be Wo Chang. I don't care.
This gotta be
There
something,
can't be another
bro.
game that looks like this.
This shit look amazing.
Well, I think last time they only showed her, right? I don't think they showed anybody else.
No, not really. They just showed her.
Yeah, this is old snap.
This shit look fire. Don't take my money.
One, she got some extra accessories on. Got the chinchilla on.
It's mine to command.
Also got a lot bigger too.
Nothing is forever. Wo Chang.
Falling feathers.
Fallen Feathers.
Yeah, they showed this at the Xbox Game Showcase earlier this year.
Okay.
I'm glad they've got more gameplay.
Yeah.
They really made it seem like she was like
Wait.
the main, like nobody else was but her.
place
But
was always
they showed so
That's what I'm
many-
saying.
They did.
and
Wait.
weird.
Is this more
Control
Alan Wake?
2?
Policy and
Or
procedure
control-
used to
what?
keep us in
Bruh,
control.
that was the old house at first.
But
Wait,
now,
A
A
three-player
three-player co-op
What?
experience.
this is the old house, but it's
Yep, it is.
Oh, y'all cleaning up.
What is happening?
Creators of
oh, they're doing it from the perspective of the cleanup guys in the universe. That's interesting.
You know what?
Fortnite, Team
This has
Fortress 5.
potential.
This remind me of, ironically, what's that game with the dwarves in space? That be mining. That looks just-
Deep Rock
remind me of
Galactic.
that. It remind me of Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, okay.
You go in, you get the items, you get swarmed by enemies, you get the fuck out. That's the whole game.
It's the game.
Very interesting.
Kind of vermintide.
You know?
Or Dark Tide here.
Okay, that was funny.
FBC
Firebreak.
Firebreak. Wow.
You know, it's funny.
They just
I
made a
was
spin-off
like,
game.
that
Wow.
other
It's
day-
been on.
That's
Game.
actually
Learn how Remedy went about designing its first ever multiplayer
Okay.
game.
Got one more, I would think.
Exclusively on Xbox Wire.
That's actually
Remedy put
pretty
in some
dope.
work on this one.
Okay. All right, Xbox. You got to end it off on something big. What you got?
Yeah,
We gotta show you everything
I need
that
one
came
more
before,
title.
man. We gotta show you everything that came before first, man. We gotta show you everything that came before, man, before we can show you what comes next, man. These coming to Game Pass, man. Let you know that Game Pass, we still out here, man. These streets.
Game Pass. Game Pass.
That's
Game
you going
Pass.
to.
Yeah, that's me.
I might scream. I'd scream.
That ain't theirs. Wait.
Thanks for watching.
That was it?
You need to cut this shorter than like.
Bro, they gotta have. No,
It's
man, they
been
gotta
hours.
have some more, man. They
don't have
lying
any-
to it, man.
They got
30
gotta,
seconds, man.
They got to fake us out. Something else got to be here.
Nah,
You know what I'm
there's
saying, bro?
definitely nothing
There's 2 minutes.
else. You should have cut that.
Man.
Ugh.
What?
That
Okay.
that
Alright, bro.
That kind of left
It
a
was
bad
like they
taste
were
in my
leading
mouth,
up
but-
a little bit. It was like, okay, we getting somewhere. And they were like, that's it, nigga.
Alright, y'all.
I mean, I understand. You know, this kind of came out of the blue anyway. When you think about it, I mean, like out of nowhere, I heard rumors of an Xbox partner preview. Like I think last week, like Friday or Thursday or something, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh yeah, it's happening." And like for what it is, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into it.
Yeah.
From the top, like, give me a quick overall, like a very quick overview. Like, what did you think, Terrence?
I liked it. Like, I think they had a good variety of games here. I think that there were some actual surprises, some interesting surprises. Not anything that like was like mind blowing or anything that like that. I mean, I'm sure they're saving that kind of stuff for the TGAs at this point, but I think this was solid for what it was. I enjoyed it. It kind of balled us a little bit there at the end just because we were expecting more, but maybe that's on us more than Xbox maybe. But yeah, I think this was very solid. I liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Would you give it like just out of 10?
Maybe a very solid 8, no higher than 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Xbox actually came with it.
Rakeem, what would you give it? Like just the top level thoughts. Like, what did you think?
I thought it was like it actually had a decent, okay pace. Kind of get a few games in there, some new IPs and then some old ones, just getting more information about them. So I thought that was okay. But I ain't gonna lie, that last part, I was like, ooh, this is not enough. But for what I say about 7.5, I didn't like it quite as much as Terrence. There were a few games on here like Wo Chang, I thought looked really good. Eternal Strands I already liked. So seeing more of that was dope. I enjoyed that. Whatever that new freaking Dead Space looking game is, I'm intrigued by that to see
Chronos,
what
the New Dawn.
Yeah, Chronos, the New Dawn. That looks pretty decent too. So I give it about 7.5. I think it was okay. I thought it was decent. I don't think it was horrible show. I thought it was okay.
Okay. Devin, real quick, your top level thoughts. What'd you think? What would you give it?
It's actually pretty solid. I mean, not going into this, I didn't really know what to expect. I'm thinking like I might see 1 or 2 games, but it was actually quite a few games here that piqued my interest. This being like the top one right here, Chronos New Dawn. Wo-Chang looked awesome. There's a lot of stuff here that looked pretty solid. I will admit. I'm actually gonna give it an 8.5. I was actually thoroughly pleased with the stuff that they showed off here.
Will?
I'm gonna give it about a 7.5. I'm docking them a little bit because of how they hit us up with that high and just left us off. I'm docking them a little bit for that. But I think right now with what's up on screen right now with this Chronos New Dawn, I can't lie, man. I like a good horror game here and there, and that's definitely could be something I see myself buying. The Wo-Chang looked really cool. That FBC Firebreak really threw me because I didn't expect that there. You know, that's really cool that they kind of gave a spin-off to that, you know, and I see Terrence is big on the lore on that. I don't know much about it, but that's really cool that that's there. So, yeah, about a 7.5 for it. They got a few things I liked in here. I expected a little more, but we are close to the TGAs at this point, so they're probably keeping quite a few things close to the chest till we get there.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect what we got. Like, the fact that we got as much as we got, I'm kind of in shock. I'm like, what? Like you said, like, we're really close to the TGAs. I think we did a show, I think either on live stream or after a stream last week. I was like, yeah, there's basically nothing left until TGAs. And I wasn't expecting to see or hear about any new games. Certainly not like this. I was like, okay, well, you know, in December, we'll be back to, you know, talking about video games. But for right now, nothing. And then out of nowhere, they were like, oh, no. Surprise. Here's this partner preview. And it's a lot of stuff, like way more stuff than you would have thought that you were going to get. So I'm going to give it an 8, solid 8. I will dock it a half a point, not a full point. Just because I was like a little shocked that they didn't have like that big one more thing.
Yeah.
Not that you need it, just, I don't know, like part of me, it probably would have landed better if I'd been watching live. The fact that I was like able to look at the runtime and see that there was like 2.5 minutes left, and it just was like, hey, here's the 15 or so games that we have, and thanks for watching. I'm like, oh, well, that's a little bit of a soft landing. Real quick, we'll break down some of the games that we saw. Of course, they led off with Alan Wake, the Lake House, the DLC. Terrence, you're the most familiar with Alan Wake as a franchise. What'd you think?
I mean, I think that since I haven't played Alan Wake 2 or I haven't really gotten a chance to like really dive into it, I can't talk much about like what's really going on. But I mean, hey, more Alan Wake is more Alan Wake. And I mean, the game so far is like people continue to enjoy it. I think people like the last DLC, and hopefully this one will scratch an itch for some people. Yeah, I can't wait to see what it offers. It seems like maybe this one is going even more in the horror direction, except maybe it's in the old house. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what they do. I really need to play this game. I just haven't sat down with it.
You said you played Alan Wake 1 not too long ago, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I beat that earlier this year.
Okay, well, I mean, you can go ahead and hop into 2 at some point. You're the one, like I said, because you also played Control, so you have more experience with this universe than any of us.
Yeah, because like the stuff that they were showing in the well, I'll get to it when we talk about it later, the FBC game. But yeah, like this is very interesting seeing what they're doing with it. Like Remedy is so good at like fleshing out their universes. It's crazy.
Okay, Rakeem, what did you think of this DLC?
I thought it looked dope. I'm not as familiar with Alan Wake, but I do like how they blend a lot of different ideas together. Art direction, atmosphere, all on point. This one definitely leans way more into the horror vibes than like, you know, stuff. Alan Wake, they kind of linked a little comedic and kind of like out there and like different. But this was like super serious, moody, dark, trippy a little bit. The vibe of the game itself, I think, is pretty dope. And I think if this is a good expansion, it'd be another knock in the park for a game that won a hell of awards and was very successful.
Real,
interestingly,
except financially.
I was joking.
Yeah, they make no money.
What were you gonna say, Terrence?
I will say at the very end, when they showed the guy in the cell, that's actually the main character's brother from Control. And so I'm very curious if maybe in the same way that the last DLC for Control set up for Alan Wake 2, if this sets up for Control 2. I think that'd be pretty dope if they do go about it that way.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool as hell.
Because I mean, like the little crossover is very nice. All right, Devin, what'd you think?
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 is a game on my radar. It's one on my list that I still want to play. I mean, it's my type of game. The only thing is I want to play Alan Wake 1 first, but it looks awesome. I mean, this one looks like the game was already like a psychological horror vibe, but it does seem like they're like digging a little deeper into that, and it's really giving me Evil Within vibes, especially Evil Within 2. That game was very trippy, psychological horror, kind of Inception-y, like with a lot of um, structures and stuff like being torn apart and reshaped and like put back together. So yeah, I mean this just screams my type of game. So if I ever play it, I'm definitely gonna be excited to play this DLC. So
Okay. Will, what did you think?
Well, I haven't delved any bit into the Alan Wake universe myself, but hey, I'm definitely looking forward to like giving it a try. I'm in the same boat as Devin. I gotta get my hands on Alan Wake 1 first, and then see myself hopping to 2, and then that'll probably put me in the mood to play the expansion. So I'm kind of just sitting there, kind of biding my time, waiting my turn. But right now, I got a bunch of RPGs to hop through. So yeah,
we all do.
Somewhere way down the list. So the next up was Chronos: The New Dawn. Let's just read a little bit of the overview. Survive the nightmare of the future to save what remains of the past. Set in a grim world where Eastern European brutalism meets retro-futurist technology, Chronos: The New Dawn lets you experience a gripping story that straddles the line between past and future. In the past, you will witness a world in the throes of the Change, a cataclysmic event that forever altered humanity. Meanwhile, in the ravaged wastelands of the future, every moment is a fight for survival against dangerous abominations that will test both your reflexes and tactical thinking. You are a traveler acting as an agent for the enigmatic collective, tasked with scouring the wastelands of the future in search of specific time rifts that will transport you back to 1980s Poland. Will, what'd you think, man?
Well, first off, I'm just like everyone else in here. Really was like, this got to be Dead Space of some sort. And the movie just kept looking at it like, this feels like Dead Space. It looks like Dead Space, might be Dead Space. Then they gave us a whole new name, new concept, new everything. And I'm just like, this looks really interesting to play. I can't wait. And what you just described really kind of has me way more intrigued about it now, knowing that there's like a little bit of time travel kind of going on here and involved in that. I'm down for it. And I think it'll be definitely a good, scary time. No doubt about it. I think this is a game that could probably do well with a lot of people.
I'll add up a couple of more things, elements to it. Your mission is to locate key people from the past who perished in the ensuing apocalypse. Using your all-powerful harvester, you can extract their essences and have them accompany you into the future.
So that's what he was doing to the lady, I guess.
I believe so, yeah. The enemies you'll encounter are nightmarish creatures born from the remnants of humanity. Defeating them will require you to make full use of your arsenal during battle. Quick decisions can mean the difference between life and death. Such is our calling. All right, fair enough. Devin, what about you? What'd you think of this game?
I mean, this more so even than Alan Wake. It screams Devin. I mean, I thought it was this. I mean, it looks like they had to definitely got inspired because like the creatures look very, very similar to necromorphs. They even look similar to like some creatures from Silent Hill. And looking at Bloober Team's like past games, just like most of the games on the list I saw was horror games. So this just seems like something that they'll probably do a really good job at. So I'm hyped for this. I mean, just looking at like the way he walks, the suit design, it's obviously got some Dead Space in it. But the time travel element seems pretty cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see more of this game.
Rakeem?
The more I saw this game, your mind goes like just so many questions. Now, if you explain how this works, it almost sounds like Terminator in reverse. Instead of a Terminator going to the past to kill someone, they're coming to the past and like, we need your help in the future. So come with us. So that already is like kind of intriguing. I'm kind of glad that it's not just a post-apocalypse for the sake of it, and is doing something interesting with the concept and like mixing the past and the future together. I'm not gonna lie, I was almost confused because when the title came up as Chronos, there's also a Chronos series that's related to like the Remnant series, like the old Remnant series is kind of tied together there too. But yeah, I thought it was dope. Like it was definitely a standout. Like I just like everybody else, I thought it was like Dead Space, the new Dead Space or something. But I am glad it's something new and refreshing and trying something different. So I think I'm pleased with what I saw. I hope I see more.
Okay. Terrence?
I think now that Silent Hill 2 is a success, I think that more people will be intrigued by this, because if Silent Hill 2, the remake, sucked and they showed this trailer, I think people wouldn't have faith in this, even if it does look good. But now that Bloober has knocked it out of the park with Silent Hill 2, I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes on this game, and it looks good. Like, it looks very promising. As long as they can nail all the right elements with it, then
I wonder
looks
if
promising.
all the people complaining about the remakes will shut up now that they've seen this game.
True, because people were saying like, hey, they did a good job with Silent Hill 2. Maybe they'll remake the other ones as well. And it's like, no, it looks like they're going to do their own thing. So
they've got a new IP they've got to do.
Yeah, and cool. for those that complain about the lack of new IPs, it's like, you know what? Here's one for you. And if it's actually good, you got to show up for it. And if you don't, well, they're probably going to go back to remaking stuff. So, hey, put up or shut up.
Next up is playing is Blindfire. Blindfire is an online multiplayer first-person shooter that takes place in the dark. Brave the arena alone or team up in matches of up to 8 players. Let's see. Blindfire is set in a shadowy underworld. The ultra-wealthy bet on illicit blood sports beneath a neon skyline. For contestants lured by the promise of untold riches and unimaginable glory, it's kill or be killed. Light is a rarity in close-quarter arenas riddled with traps for intense firefights. Players must decide where and when to fire at the risk of exposing their position. Hone your senses with the room-scanning echo mechanic to help you navigate the arena and locate your opponents. When defeated, spectators gain access to the arena's cutting-edge night vision cameras. Black light reveals the vibrant hues of hidden street art and transforms the slick designs of the contestants' outfits. The eliminated spectators can assume control of traps in the arena to influence the outcome of the match and enact revenge. Anybody particularly excited about Blindfire, or are we just going to skip over it?
I'd like to see more of it. Like, I like to see people get their actual hands on it. Because, it's one of those things where a demonstration that's, like, perfectly planned out, this is obviously scripted. So,
yes.
I want to see it in, like, actual people's hands.
Right. And with max brightness settings. Because I ain't finna play around with these people.
I'm getting like Brink vibes. Like, I don't know if this is gonna have like the traversal of movement, what it's gonna be like, but it's giving me Brink vibes. Like if they would have like sliding down rails and jumping up parkour. I don't know if that'll take a part in this, but
I don't think they're gonna have none of that in this game. To be honest with you,
I don't think so.
Of course, the next game was Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which is an insane title. I think they got kind of lazy on the title. It's funny, but it's like the more you think about it, it's like, all right, we'll be just being silly now. This is the first game I'm going to speak up for because I'm excited for it. Does look cool. I do hate the launch date for it. February it's one of the most crowded months of the year next year already. Like let me see. I think I had like a list of games like that were going to come out that time of year, and I was like, there's no way.
I think Monster Hunter was going to come out on the 28th, right?
Yes.
And so them moving away from the 28th is at least a good thing in that regard.
But it's also the same month as Assassin's Creed Shadows, Avowed, and then there are a couple other games that I'm interested in personally. Legend of Heroes, Trails Through Daybreak 2. That comes out in February on the 14th. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Like that month is full of games. It's effectively like the last chance to put out games before the fiscal year. If you want to get like your before the fiscal year ends, rather, if you want to get like some cool games. I don't know, like I it's a questionable choice to put it out in February. I probably would have punted it into like March or something like that. But I guess we'll see. It does look good. It looks like a lot of fun. I still need to beat Infinite Wealth. I'll probably try to do that over the course of December and January after I beat Trails Through Daybreak 1. Like people miss more frequent games, but like as an adult, I'm like, I see why, some like we probably need more time than once a year, especially for games like these, which are long as fuck. Anybody else really particularly interested in this game?
You come on,
already know.
Come on now, stop playing games with me, bro. Module on a pirate ship. They
I'm sold.
I mean, I'll say
Easton hit the pirate ship, and now Yakuza on it.
I'll say as someone who has like no experience with the Yakuza series, like every game that they show like just continues to impress me. I'll put it that way. Like it's a series that I wish I had a hyperbolic time chamber. I could just play all the games. Like like it looks like a lot of fun.
They didn't start out like this, but like they just get more progressively more ridiculous, and they just embrace it with every game. What were you gonna say, Devin?
I said this one. I mean, I've seen we played like a little bit of Lost Judgment. I've seen King. They played the games like I've seen in person. Nelson's played them. I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't get the chance to experience these games like when they first came out, and I kind of just overlooked them, past years. But man, I gotta say this is a game I think I'm gonna really have to get into. And this one is really going down my alley because it's just like the combat looks so fun. Like the combat is already dope, but it's just like he got this. I'm assuming he has like different suits and stuff he's gonna have, like different outfits.
He has 2 different styles. He has his Mad Dog style, and then there's another style, I think pirate style or something like that. And they affect the way that he fights, and he does change outfits when he switches between the 2 styles.
Okay.
And usually with Yakuza, when there's multiple styles, there's always like a hidden style or something
secret
like that.
one.
Like a third one that you kind of get. So that's there's probably still some hidden stuff in here, but yeah, you will get 2 different fighting styles, so it's going to be very action focused.
That's what is giving me vibes with Final Fantasy X-2 with the dress sphere system, and I'm like, that would be really cool, like in an actual like full action combat style, like different outfits. It's like this. It looks dope. I ain't gonna lie. I'm
the
really
actual like Yakuza 7 and Infinite Wealth, right?
Yeah.
When you change classes, you change outfits.
You change outfits.
Right. You change outfits, change classes.
I will say this, Devin, if you want to get into the games, I know you've got other games you want to play, but these games go on sale a lot.
They
a lot. So like I think I bought Yakuza Kiwami 1, which is like a remake of 1, and Kiwami 2, remake of 2, and 3, 4, and 5. I think I bought them all for like $50 one time.
Yeah, like sometimes
I got them all for like
$20-something,
I think.
Yeah, they come in big bundles, Devin. And when they
$20
go
or
on
$30.
sale, bro, that sale be like cheap, like about 50, like say said, sometimes 40.
Yep.
Sometimes you can get the bundle split. You can get like a section of these games and then get the later games.
Yep.
Like literally, you can hop into this series at a really affordable price.
It's pretty easy,
and you have a ton of like stuff to do in all of them.
The only thing I'll say that disappoints me about this is that I low-key wanted a Lost Judgment, a Judgment 3.
Yeah.
But I think there was some stuff between like the model agency that employed the main actor and Sega, and they might have just decided to move on and not do a third game. I hope that's not the case.
It was like with the PC release of Lost Judgment. I believe they got over that though. If I'm not
they
mistaken.
worked it out because I mean, of course, there's a PC version. But I don't know if that like left a sour taste in their mouth to the point where they were like, we don't want to continue anymore. We'll see.
I hope not, because it's a dope series.
Of course, next up is Mouse, PI for Hire. It's a gritty noir-fueled first-person shooter that draws inspiration from the classic cartoons of the 1930s. The monochromatic visual style of hand-drawn rubber hose animation and retro jazz soundtrack are created with the same techniques of the era. As private investigator Jack Pepper, you will discover that a corrupt city full of crooks and danger is just a taste of things to come. Explore the noir-inspired city teamed with heavily armed gangs, mobs, and characters from the dark side to uncover the secrets within Mouseburg. Of course, you'll have to solve you'll solve mysteries. There's it's like Duckburg. Yeah, exactly.
Mouseburg.
There's a little bit more explore diverse city playground from the dark streets of Mouseburg to a Noir film studio and casinos to the marina port and dock district, vast underground sewers and swamp marshlands. Beware what lurks beneath the surface. Loot collectibles and clues, play mini games, and fight through the city's towns, alleyways, and more. And with that, I'll say the first thing that surprised me the most about this game is just how much more fleshed out it was in this trailer than any of the ones I've seen before it. The other trailers just seem kind of basic. This one seemed like, okay, this is a full game. It's not just like a meme we're using just to do like, to exist in the 1930s or whatever. I like what I saw. I'm not a big first person fan. This is a game that I would love to watch someone play. So if I see any of my favorite streamers playing it, I'm going to be all in just to have fun watching this game get played. Terrence, what'd you think?
While you were talking, the thing that I noticed and is coming up, when you look at the guns, you can see how the guns themselves, like they have this wavy quality to them. Like they don't move like it's like like those old cartoons where everything was kind of like rubber. how
That's
you
what they
just,
said.
like
They
you
kinda
kind of just
bounce and
move it.
stretch.
Yeah, it's just bouncing and stretching. Is like that attention to detail
Mhm.
alone lets me know that a lot of care was put into this game. And like if it's mechanically sound, like if the shooting aspect of it is actually fun, then yeah, I think that they have a winner on their hands. Like there's definitely been a resurgence of like the boomer shooter. There's so many of those now, and if this is another one that comes with like the unique styling that it has, I think that yeah, it could be a solid game to play.
Rakeem, what'd you think?
This shit looks so dope. Like this look dope. Like everything about it looked dope. All of it. The animation, the combat, the odes to like the Doom style where you kind of had the characters in the front, like 3D, almost looked 3D even when they weren't in three dimensions. It looks really cool. This is one of the best games they showed to me. As far as being an FPS fan, this is like so unique, so creative. I will definitely be on the lookout for this game. If it has a demo, I'll play that shit right now.
I like this game.
I promise I'll go download it.
That shit
Devin, what'd you think?
Yeah, this looks amazing. When I first saw this, I'm like, man, this is such a nod to like what good like art direction will do for a game. And even though it's like it's in black and white, doesn't really matter because it's capturing that style, that Steamboat Willie style so perfectly. This is dope, man. It's also a nod to like, you know, when people say, oh, this is like it's for kids. It's like this is one of the best examples of art style does not lend to something being like for a certain age, because obviously this is not for kids. Like, yo, oh, it's a little kid. No, this ain't for kids. It looked like he's Steamboat with it, but this ain't.
It's like for people who used to be kids when cartoons were. Well, actually, this is older than our cartoons, but
definitely before.
Yeah, it's definitely older than ours.
It's like those who maybe thought Conker's Bad Fur Day was for kids.
Yep.
A little bit like that.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Will, what about you, man?
Man, I'm in the same boat as Devin about that art direction, man. It's something to behold when you see people put stuff like this together, because it just ends up reminding me like a little bit of Cuphead when it came out. I still consider like Cuphead like one of the best like $20 I ever spent on a video game, because I really love how good that game looks, how well it plays, everything it has. And I do agree with Terrence. It was hard, but I beat it twice, so I can't speak for that. I beat it twice plus the DLC. And
you OG. That game hard as hell.
Love me some Cuphead, but Mouse PI right here, PI for Hire, is looking amazing. Like Terrence said, if it's good and mechanically sound, if it has everything together on that front, this game is gonna be a hit, no doubt about it. It's gonna stick with people.
It's gonna be a choice for an early choice for a Fantasy Critic next year.
Definitely
debatable whether or not it's going to be like a solid. Like I'm thinking 80s. If it lands in the 90s, it's gonna be a massive hit.
That
next
would be
up
wild.
Wouldn't it be though? Next up was Subnautica. Subnautica 2, an underwater survival adventure set on an all-new alien ocean world. It is the next chapter in the Subnautica universe. A new world awaits alongside a new story. You are a pioneer traveling to a distant world, but something is amiss. The ship's AI insists you carry on the mission. This world is too dangerous for humans to survive unless you change what it means to be human. What creatures, intelligent or otherwise, await your arrival? You'll be able to play alone or with up to 3 friends in co-op, whether exploring mysterious ruins, building custom bases, or adventuring deeper into the world. The challenge of this planet will test your ingenuity and ability to adapt in unexpected and curious ways. You'll be able to craft submersibles, tools, and bases. Alongside your basic items such as your scanner and flashlight, you'll find recipes for more advanced tools, equipment, and submersibles. Bases are customizable with an overhauled building system. New tools allow for greater adaptation to the world. Of course, it's the point is really just going and seeing like the biomes, studying mysterious life forms, and then of course being underwater and shit. It'll be in early access sometime later in 2025. Did this game speak to anybody that did you want to dive in and check it out?
It made me almost want to go back.
No pun intended.
It made me kind of want to try. Like I've always been interested in Subnautica because at the time when Subnautica came out, especially, maybe not so much now, but especially at that time, it was a unique ass experience. There were just not a lot of games where you go underwater and doing shit. So it's a unique like elements and how it looked visually, especially when you're watching it. Like it looks so cool being submerged and creating these bases underwater. It's like No Man's Sky for the ocean. It's a very different experience. It was unique. I think, so I think to me, I've always wanted to try Subnautica, but I never got into it. Seeing a sequel now, I'm like, maybe I should try Subnautica 1. I think I actually have Subnautica 1 on PSN. And just like dive into it and see if I like it enough to be excited for the sequel. But it did something about this trailer did look good to me. I was intrigued.
Okay. Anybody else thinking about checking this game out?
This definitely kind of speaks to me because it gives me Echo the Dolphin vibe. I play that on the Dreamcast version specifically. Just like Rakeem said, it was just at that time it was a really interesting experience, a unique experience. You playing this dolphin underwater and like aliens have come and you got to like save the world. Just a unique experience. And this is just like with humans. I mean, also being able to play as Miles Morales this time on the water. That's pretty dope. I don't know how that's going to tie into his storyline fighting villains in New York, but this one looks dope. I mean, it's got some mysterious elements to it. Big creepy alien creatures. So I would not mind playing this. I haven't played Subnautica 1, so maybe this might be the time for me to go ahead and check that one out too.
Yeah, I do like what I saw from Subnautica 2. I probably won't go back to Subnautica 1 just because it's I think there was a story to Subnautica 1, but I wasn't super duper like I think it came later. I don't think it was like prioritized as opposed to this game, which seems to be prioritizing a story from day one. I only need one, two actually, because I have Enshrouded and I have No Man's Sky. I can only take so many of those survival games. It's like, hey man,
I understand. So that's a lot of time investment.
It is a lot of time investment. Like I spent I think I dropped 15, 20 hours just building. Well, I dropped like 10 hours building one house in Enshrouded, and I'm like, hey man, I'm not gonna keep doing this. So it's like you got to do other games. So I'll probably try, Subnautica 2 when it exits early access. I just want to wait until it's a finished product. Yeah. We won't talk about Animal Will. I think everybody, it's out. Like, congratulations. It's available on Xbox. That's cool. This next game really upset me. It looked like this before, but before was 3 years ago. Before Rakeem moved into this apartment. And Rakeem, how long have you been here?
It feels like 2.5 years.
3 years. You've been here 3 years.
It's been 3 years already?
2022, 2023, and 2024. This game was announced in 2021.
Dang.
Why does it still look like this? It looks unfinished. Like, the graphics look unfinished. And there are a lot of really cool moments. And, like, yeah, I see what they're referencing. The different scenes, the different parts of the anime. It upsets me. I'm like, damn, like, you could have made something cool out of this, but Fairy Tail 2 looks better than this. Like, I understood when it looked like that in 2021. Why does it still look like that now? Like, why does it, like, you had 3 years and it still looks like y'all said it. I won't say it looks like a PS3 game, but it looks like a very low budget PS4 game. It looks like a PS4 game that launched at the beginning of the generation and somebody didn't want to spend a bunch of money on it. And they got the nerve to be like, oh yeah, it's coming out next year. First off, isn't this from Gus too? Wait, no, actually, I think it's from. No, I think it's from Konami.
Yeah, Konami's badge name was in the corner there.
Yeah, okay, man, it just sucks, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I want it better for this franchise. The franchise, I mean, like the manga's already over, and they're like on season 2 of the anime with season 3 on the way. It'll probably finish up on the 4th season. So, like, I mean. One good video game was all this franchise needed, and you could have been like, okay, it's solid manga, solid anime, solid video game, and you just wrap it on up. It's just like the epitome of a 7.5 type ass franchise. But instead, like the game had to go ahead and fuck it all up. So I'm a little bummed out on this one. I know nobody else. You said what?
Shout out to Mid Games.
Bro. It definitely looked mid, and
I tell you one thing, it's one of those games you're like, man, I'm so glad this is here to make all the other games look so much better.
Wow, that's not great, but yeah, you're right. This shit had so much potential as a game, but I mean, it just blew it. Yeah. Next up is Eternal Strands. We kind of know everything about this game. I don't think I need to read a synopsis or anything like that. It just looks really good. Will, what'd you think of it?
It looks like you said, it looks really good, and I'm seeing I think for me having some Monster Hunter experience, it looks quite like there's some Monster Hunter like isms here.
There's some Monster
Aside
Hunter
from,
DNA, definitely.
Yeah, like I kind of see it in like how some things move and a little bit of the combat and the
This
action.
is cool.
Like I really like what it's doing here. It looks really good, very bright, very colorful. Definitely different from most games that I do see come like in this format of like having to fight large monsters. It's usually kind of grimdark sometimes, but this one here is just like, hey man, everything's pretty visible. Everything is here for you to see. By all means, come play this game. It pulls you in more than anything, if I had to say so myself, for a game like this. So
This look fun as hell.
Like that's what I'm saying. It looks really fun.
Devin, what'd you think, man?
Yeah, this is definitely going down my alley. This looks dope. The visual style, the particle effects, the elemental interactions. This looks dope. Of course, it's got like I mean, Will just mentioned the Monster Hunter, but it's a little bit of Shadow Colossus. Even though I think these creatures, they're not quite the scale of the Shadow Colossus, but they're still scaling creatures and like doing stuff. This looks pretty dope. It's kind of giving me like the combat and like the moving around is really taking me back to Fable, like the original Fable, how it played, and this just looks like a current gen Fable, even though we really hadn't seen much on the actual Fable that's coming out. But this kind of puts me in the mindset that just like a lot of stuff kind of like sewn together. Fable, Monster Hunter, Shadow Colossus, a little Zelda. This looks pretty dope. This looks pretty dope.
Rakeem?
Give me the game. I need it right now. I need it in my veins. This game look like a game, bro. Reminds me of actually combat kind of reminds me of Darksiders 2 a little bit. With like how the levels look and stuff. And just the creativity of like combining the elements. This is the first like RPG I've seen like on like new gen hardware that's actually trying something that feels unique. That's like trying to push the boundaries of like what you do in a game like this, like combine the elemental properties and the Monster Hunter part, the combat, like it's like a whole bunch of different elements that they're actually pushing something unique and like interesting. So I'm like, yeah, this is right up my alley.
Terrence?
Hey, I'm with Keem, man. This is looking like a game. Man, it's crazy. Honestly, it's so crazy how you hear about all the layoffs and everything negative that's going on in the gaming industry, but it feels like the games themselves, like they're not letting up. Like 2023, banger year. 2024, banger year. 2025,
looking like a banger year.
More of the same.
Yeah.
It's like, good grief, man. Is 2026 going to be the one to let us down eventually? But no, like this game looks dope. Like this, every time we see it, it looks better and better. So I'm just looking forward to when it's actually released and I can get my hands on it.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of this game. Like I knew it was from Yellow Brick Games, which I think has some staff from Dragon Age. And when I saw the first clip, I was like, I'm not too impressed. I wasn't sure what to make of it. Every clip I've seen since then has changed my mind. Like the combat in this looks great. The last trailer showed like the basic gameplay loop where you would like, okay, we're gonna go and do this. You go out, you go into the world. You've got friends that you've got other characters that are gonna help you build certain items to make you ready for the world to go back out. And then like you go out, you collect stuff, you come back, and like I was like, oh, okay, so there's a loop, and then there's other characters. I'm not just alone in the game. And I was like, all right, bet. And then this right here just shows you how good the combat is, how good the elemental interactions are. This game looks like it's gonna be good. My only question is it gonna sell enough? It might be like a sleeper hit, but like these days, like games cost so much. I do know they were describing it as like a AAA, like a independent game with a bit of a budget, but hopefully not too big of a budget that they can't make their money back. We'll see. Next up, Mistfall Hunter. What a game. What
a game.
So I was wrong. It is a third-person player versus environment extraction action RPG. At this point, it's just starting to sound like they reach into a bag full of gaming-related adjectives, pull out what they find, and just lay out like 3 or 4 of them. And they're like, that's the game we're making. Mistfall Hunter is a third-person action player versus environment extraction RPG. Gear up for different classes, master combos and strategic skills, and face intense battles against monsters or players solo or with teammates. Only a successful escape will secure your treasures. In an epic war between gods and outer gods, all deities have fallen. Their blood is turned into the Gildan Mist, a corrosive force that sweeps across the land, warping the souls of the living and driving them to madness and monstrous mutations. Amidst the Gildan Mist, a few Ascilient... What the fuck? I ain't never heard of that one. A few Ascilient humans cling to their sanity, seeking refuge in the last remnants of civilization. Yet, hope endures. From the shadows steps Dew, a mysterious girl with the power to resurrect fallen heroes and grant them immortal bodies. These reborn champions, known as Gildan Hunters, follow Dew into the heart of peril, battling Gildanized creatures and harvesting Gildan blood. Their mission is to mend the shattered web of fate and rekindle a spark of hope in a world on the brink of oblivion. Anybody moved by this game?
So it kind of feels like a third person, like way more combat focused, dark and darker.
They already have that, but you're right.
Yeah, they do. But I'm not gonna lie, I was more intrigued if this game was like a single player game.
100%, 100%.
I was like all in when I thought it was single player.
Yes, that combat looked really fun. Don't get me wrong, I still like PvP games that have good combat because I don't have no problem playing on PvP games and never.
Yeah,
but I just felt like, this kind of leans more into like Celtic mythology than traditional like regular European mythology. It's doing something a little bit different. And I ain't gonna let the beginning reminded me so much of Elden Ring though. I was like, y'all just took that from Elden Ring. Y'all didn't give a fuck. Yeah, I was intrigued by it. I'm still kind of intrigued by it. I do want to see more of it because I got really into watching Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker looks so cool when you see people play that game. So like seeing something kind of like that, but like the action is even better.
Yeah, the action in Dark and Darker leaves a lot to be desired. This is much better.
Yeah, that's more of just the experience of Dark and Darker, like being those closed out dungeons. But this looked cool as fuck. Like the combat looked cool as hell. I'll give it a shot. I'll tell you that. If it's free to play or something, I'd give it a shot. Because the combat does look really good.
Devin, it sounded like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, this looks very fun, and I agree that this should just been a single player experience, or maybe not an extraction, maybe just like a co-op four-player. I don't know, like this
co-op dungeon crawler.
Yeah, like
just go through dungeons.
Like that's what this should have been, not an extraction game. I don't know why you would. I don't know. I hadn't played it. It looks fun
because it's trendy. That's the reason.
Yeah, but like you know what? Like I feel like extraction genre as a genre has less legs. Like it makes a lot of money when it works, but there haven't been that many successes. It's like Tarkov and Dark and Darker, and I'm out of games now. Like I don't have any more examples of like
maybe what's that one?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Damn, that's the problem. Actually, the one Crytek made.
Oh, Hunt Showdown.
That's been around for a while now.
You got me. That's another.
What was the other game? Like using the snow. I forgot. It was like a multiplayer extraction game. I forgot the name of the game.
I guess technically the Division, because that was like the super popular one with the Dark Zone.
It gives me Nosgoth vibes, like Nosgoth and like Dante's Inferno.
I kind of see the Nosgoth with the action.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rest in peace, Nosgoth.
I would have definitely bought the fuck out of this if it was a single player game. The fact that it's not, or even a co-op game. If it had been a co-op dungeon crawler, like Keem said, I'd be like, yeah, I'll try this. You know, I'll see what's going on. But instead, it's like I don't feel like, because like this seems too chaotic. Imagine you fighting this big ass boss, and then out of nowhere, some dude come and just like kill you after you get your shit, start dugging on your corpse. You like, all right, man, cut this fucking game off. Change channel immediately. Like okay.
Behold the Elden. Oh my bad, not the Elden. It's the fact they got the gold part.
The next game is Wheel World, formerly called Ghost Bike. It's from Annapurna Interactive and Meshoff. It was supposed to come out this year. It had been delayed to 2025. Welcome to Wheel World, where the fate of the universe rests on your handlebars. The fuck? You are Cat, a young cyclist with one mission: save Wheel World from total collapse. Chill the fuck out.
All right.
Explore a stunning open world filled with impressive vistas, hidden
Figured it was
secrets,
AP open
and
world.
races that will test your skills. Customize your bike with an endless array of parts, from sleek speedsters to off-road beasts. There's no limit to how you can ride. Upgrade your ride, carry out your destiny, rescue your stolen legendary parts to ultimately perform the Great Shift ritual and save the world. No big deal. All of this is backed by an original soundtrack from Italians Do It Better, pumping energy into every race and moments of breathtaking semi-open world exploration. It's time to pedal your way to glory, save the spirits of Wheel World, and keep the universe on track. Hop on, ride fast, and don't look back. This looks interesting.
Yeah,
it looks like an
Yeah.
Annapurna game. I'll say that.
It does.
Annapurna games don't look alike, but when you see one, you're like, yeah, that looks like what I would expect an Annapurna type game to look like. Kind of unfortunate what's been happening with that studio or that publisher lately, because they wanted to try to suddenly make a turn into AAA games, and it's like, leave that to everybody else. Some of these custom parts are very weird, by the way.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
the
an
eyeball,
actual
yeah.
human body.
There was a human body at one point.
Eyeball.
What the fuck? But yeah, Will, what'd you think of it, man? You're an indie game player.
Yeah, I am, and I'm not gonna lie. From what I watched of the trailer, I was like, "This looks interesting. I wonder what you do with it." And then you read that description, and immediately everything in my head just left. I'm like, "Okay, so I'm not doing what I think I'm doing here."
I agree.
I'm like, so I'm saving the world on a bike? Okay, I didn't
These
expect
races.
that. Yeah, so
Does that mean you have to win every race?
That is
I
a
don't
very
know.
good question, bro. Now that you
Is
say
it race
that.
or die?
Yeah, I guess, or something.
Yeah, like what are the stakes here for real? Like, do I
Become
get
one
my
with the
spirits
bike.
this away?
Ghost Rider.
Do I become a bike if I lose? Like, what's up? Like, hello?
You become that
Maybe.
extra part. That's what happens.
But yeah, it's interesting enough. Now that you said that, I think it's something I'll look forward to. I'll give it some time. If there's a demo that pops out, I will definitely give it a try.
Devin, what'd you think?
It looks interesting. I always love a game that kind of looks off the rails to a certain extent, especially like the art style is very unique. It almost got like a Rick and Morty vibe, like to the character models, like the face. And I'm guessing might as well be Ghost Rider because you got like a little skull ghost which you can ride on a bike. So, but I definitely didn't think that this was gonna be. Well, actually, you know what? I really didn't know because I'm like, there has to be more here than just racing. And now you're talking about saving the world, some spirit stuff. I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. The open world thing I think looks cool. I wish they had some tricks. I always love extreme sports games with tricks. I don't see they just doing regular. I need some tricks, man. Do a flip, do something, man. I need some.
Do a spin move.
Yeah, man. Do a barrel roll or something, man.
Yeah.
But it looks
A
interesting.
McTwist.
Yeah. You know,
Ride on
it
your
looks
hot dog bike.
interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of
Apparently,
got
you
some
can do
jet set
exercises.
radio.
Oh,
vibe,
okay. Well,
like
you got
the
a few
weirdness.
tricks.
Nah, man, that wasn't tricky enough, man.
You want SSX tricky?
Yeah, man.
No, he wants to rock around, to rock around, to rock around.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
It's got
All
some
right.
jet set radio vibes because like that game is like the cell shading, then it's got like your own skates, but there's like weird stuff happening that you think like ain't got nothing to do with like being on
Mhm.
skates. So
Yeah.
Rakeem, what'd you think, man?
When I first saw it, I was like, man, this reminds me so much of Ali Ali. You know, the last one was
I
like an
definitely
open
thought
world
that
kind of
this
game.
was related to that.
Got a very vibe, Ali Ali world vibe. I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I saw like this is an open world game, I don't know why I just knew I'm like this is an open world game because racing and open world just makes more sense.
True.
But I'm just not super into something. I don't know if it's the art style. This is cool, but I feel like it just needed like a little bit more oomph, like a little more style to me. This feels more like it feels like what's what I'm looking for? It feels like one of those more relaxed games.
Like a cozy
even though
game.
the stakes are high. It feels like a cozy game, even though the stakes are high, a cozy game. Which is nothing wrong with it. But as of this moment, I'm just not really into just riding a bike for 10 hours.
I hope it's not 10 hours. If all you do is ride bikes, it needs to be half that length. Which
what
it-
if when you go through that portal, it turns into a Souls like and use the bike as a weapon?
I want my money back. That's what I want.
Oh my god.
If I bought
Bikes
that
of
game and it turned
Hinsenberg.
into like I'd be like, give me my money back. Terrence, what'd you think of it?
I'm with I forgot who said it, that I think it was Will that said that, like, yeah, this looks like a very pleasant game, and until you read the description, I'm like, oh, this is not at all what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I think the trailer kind of betrays the concept a little bit. Like, this makes it definitely look a lot more cozy than the description you gave makes it what it actually is. If anything, I thought this was maybe just kind of like a Tony Hawk style game, where it's like you have this world that you can just go around and interact with people and do cool stuff in it. But if there's like an actual story and missions that you have to do and whatnot, then, you know, I'd have to just see more gameplay and see if there's like any real depth to it. But I mean, at least the art style is interesting. So it has potential. I'll put it that way. I'm very curious to see how they execute on the actual description, because yeah, the trailer and the description, I feel like they don't quite match until like the very end, where they show the geyser of energy going up into the sky. So yeah, I just have to see more of it.
Agreed. Phasmophobia going into early access for PlayStation 5, PSVR 2, Xbox Series. Starts October 29th. We don't have to delve into that. So we'll get down to the last three games. Next up is The Legend of Babu from Midwest Games and Permanent Way. Hold on just a second. We'll get the actual trailer up. Inspired by fables passed down by generations, the story of Sether and Babu begins when their idyllic island is invaded by a demonic force commanded by an ancient evil. Together with the strength of their bond, the boy and his dog set out to save their island, rescue their family, and defeat the darkness behind it all. I'm going to say I'm kind of tired of a child or a kid or a person and their pet.
Yeah.
Getting a little tired of it.
That is very common now.
At this point, unless it's a rabbit, just because I fuck with rabbits, unless it's an animal I super fuck with, I wrap it up, man. I'm tired of this.
I get it, because the kids look really vulnerable by themselves, fighting larger than life forces. So having a pet accommodate them makes it feel, I guess, I don't know, easier to watch.
I am getting like PS1, PS2 vibes from this combat, though.
Oh yeah, Ico,
like yeah, kind of like Star Fox Adventures.
Sether and Babu will work together as a team, each offering unique skills to overcome enemies, solve puzzles, traverse dangerous and magical lands, play as both heroes throughout the journey, switching between the two to progress the game. There's an RPG-like skill tree to power up offensive and defensive capabilities.
Okay.
You can customize Babu with outfits and ornaments earned throughout your journey. Defeating bosses will unlock special magical attacks, which will consume mana but take out large hordes of enemies. Equip your favorite special attacks to create a build that suits your playstyle. And you can play at any difficulty, which I can guarantee you is not the case with Wolchang. But let's get into this first. Did anybody see themselves as wanting to play this game?
I probably could, because even though this game looks kind of ugly, it looked decent at first when they showed them on the shore. Oh, then the graphics just kind of progressively got. The dogs looks good. He seemed to hold up throughout, but
it's the people's faces, you know.
It has that Lord of the Rings, like that Hobbit face kind of.
I think it's the lighting. Like as the trailer goes on, they get into like darker areas, and I think the lighting, makes the faces look worse. Because when in the beginning they were in like well lit, they were out in the open world, but now that they're in like darker spaces, it does look a little weird.
Yeah. I know you say you mentioned the PS2 style combat. I'm be honest, I'm a sucker for that. Like Mark of Cree, what was the Star Fox Adventures, all this stuff. Like I actually there's something about that style of like gameplay. Like what's the other game from Ubisoft? I'm blanking on it now.
Immortal?
Not Immortal.
Beyond Good
and Evil.
It's just something I like about that. There's even like some people doing an indie game called The Fading Skies. It's kind of like a next gen game that kind of has that personality of like a PS2 action adventure game platformer. I love that stuff. So I'm looking at it, and it kind of intrigues me a little bit. Just the visuals aren't quite there, but I probably would give this a try. Like especially if it's on like Game Pass, I probably give it a try. But when I'm looking at it, all I'm seeing is like. You'd be like, hey, Mom, can we get Kena Bridge of Spirits? You're like, no, boy, we got Kena Bridge of Spirits at home. This is what this is. This is Kena Bridge of Spirits at home.
I like the environments. I like what I'm seeing of the combat, the platforming. It's just the character faces, and what that makes me think is that they should have gone with a more stylized art direction instead of trying to do something more like realistic.
Yeah.
Like I think that the money just probably isn't there for like the realism look, and if they had gone with something more cartoony, and I understand wanting to avoid like the cartoony art styles because that in itself is getting kind of overdone. Right before we wrap this podcast up, I do want to show y'all Project Ethos, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what Sage is talking about. There's a little bit too much of that going around right now, but I think sometimes you gotta know when you can and when you can get away with it, and this game definitely could have gotten away with it. Just the certain shift in graphical art style would have done this game wonders because I like everything but the facial features of this game. But yeah, I mean, anybody else want to speak up for this game, or are we just like we gonna move on to the next one?
It looked like in SmackDown I'm playing right now, when you scan somebody's real face and put it on a game model, that's what they look like.
Fuck. That's not it. You don't want to look like that.
Yeah, I'm not super into
the real
this
problem
one,
with this game is that it exists in a time, and Terrence already said this, where there's just banger after banger out, and there's no room for games like this where it's like, hey, this looks okay. It's like, all right, you got time for an okay game, and then you look at all the great games that you have, and you're like, no, I don't have time for that right now. I only have time for like, unless it's from a franchise that you already fuck with. So like, if you want to put out an okay Star Ocean, I'll probably play it because I fuck with Star Ocean. But if you put out an okay game and it's from a new franchise, I'm gonna move the fuck on really fast. So,
fair enough.
Next up, Wo-Chang Fallen Feathers. Wo-Chang Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like surprise action RPG set in the land of Shu during the dark and tumultuous late Ming Dynasty, plagued with warring factions and a mysterious illness spawning monstrous creatures. Become Wo-Chang, a skilled pirate warrior struck by amnesia who must navigate the uncertainties of her mysterious past while afflicted by the horrific feathering disease. Explore the depths of Shu, enhancing your arsenal and mastering new skills harvested from fallen foes. Evolve your fighting style by sacrificing elusive red mercury, and further develop new techniques obtained throughout your action-packed journey. Augment the weapons in your repertoire with powerful enchantments, allowing for a unique approach to combat and strategy that suits your personal style. Immerse yourself in a rich storyline, dynamic combat system, and breathtaking visuals that offer an unforgettable adventure through lands veiled in chaos and death. Will you reveal the truths of Wu-Chang's curse and bring peace to Shu, or will you succumb to the encroaching horrors? The fate of the lands rests in your hands. Nothing is forever. I think everybody had a certain level of interest in this game. Terrence, start us off.
I mean, the game looks really good, and like combat, environments, creature design, like this looks hella promising. It's crazy that we're getting so many of these type of games now, like these single player like action games, some of them Souls like, some of them venturing more into the character action territory. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that single player games are back and like even stronger than ever, because I mean, remember there was a time where they were like, oh, you know, single player games are dying, you know, we're all gonna be just playing multiplayer, and it's like, nope. that turned out to not be the case. So yeah, this looks great. I just want to see more of it.
Same. Rakeem.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to, like you mentioned, like how many of these games we're getting. Just like right now in like China and Korea, there's such a they're doing such a good job right now of basically displaying their mythology to the Western world, which is not as thoroughly explored for us. So we're seeing these fantastical designs and like these characters like Wukong and just the creatures, the monsters, the magic. It all looks new to us now. Like this is stuff that's been involved in their mythology, their storytelling, their art for hundreds of years, thousands of years in some cases. But it's new to us, and it's hitting us all at once. They're doing a great job of exemplifying what their mythology and their culture means to them through these games. And they look really, really good. They're putting a lot of time into them. This looks good. This looks great. I do think the Souls-like action is starting to like, all right, y'all kind of running a little bit, but each game is done well enough where like, even if you are kind of tired of it, it's still, some of these games still stand on their own. Cause this feels even a little bit different than how Wukong is doing things with like the magic and the spell casting and stuff in between there. And Phantom Blade Zero's combat looks a little different too. But they look so cool. Like everything just looks cool. I think that's the main thing that people are looking at. This looks dope. If I just saw somebody playing this, I'd like, what is this game? If what see it on the street, because it catches your attention immediately. I think this is going to be dope. I do want to see more from it. What features it's going to have, how it's distinct from the other action games that are out right now. So yeah, I have a pretty positive impression.
Okay, Devin, what about you, man? You're the resident super Souls fan. Like other people like Souls, you really fuck with Souls. What do you think of the game?
It looks fire. Like when we first saw it the first time it was revealed, and that time they showed it, they really made it seem like that the lady we saw first was just the only character, but now they're showing other characters. This
I think this is the same character that just changes her look some.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it might have a different form depending on what it is she may have.
Okay. Well, yeah, this looks amazing. I mean, it just takes me back to games like Genji is the one game that all these games kind of like they like that these games put me in that mindset of Genji, even like Onimusha. Like I've always loved these types of games. I'm gonna be honest, like Souls like the Souls like if it's Souls like action, whatever form it is, I probably won't ever get tired of these games. If they're done well, if they're unique, they got like a new experience, I probably won't ever get tired of them. I mean, we just had last year we had Liza P, a new fresh experience like in the world building and world and storytelling. You had Black Myth this year. Kind of riddled with some performance issues, which is unfortunate, but still a pretty good
that
game.
Other game that came out?
Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade.
No,
not that.
The one with the masks.
In Tora, the Italian one.
Inotria, yeah,
Inotria.
Yeah,
that was cool
I haven't
too.
Played that one yet. I need to. At one point I saw some gameplay of that one. I wasn't really hyped for that one because it looked a little. I don't know.
I've heard iffy things.
Yeah, that's the word. It looked iffy, and I was like, I don't know about this one. But yeah, this looks amazing. Like I want to get my hands on it. I want to play it. That's another game that's similar to this that also puts me into like the mindset of Genji, but it's like 3 characters you switch between. It's very similar to this. I can't remember the name of that game.
I'm still
look it up.
While you talking, man, I got to put some respect on the OG Chinese action game, Bujinga. People don't ever talk about it, but that game has some cool fucking combat. I always bring it up. It's one of the most beautiful like martial arts games I've ever seen, and I always get vibes of that when I see people like clashing in like Chinese style martial arts. It reminds me of that too.
Really cool call back there, sir.
Yeah.
What about you, Will? What did you think of this game?
Well, game is gorgeous. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, my God, like the way everything is presented just looks so
that
cool.
One weapon is so sick.
Yeah, that weapon there, it really has my
where it's like a spear, but it's still shooting things.
Damn.
That's
sick.
She does change outfits a lot. I guess she has equipment.
Yeah,
she probably does. But I think it looks really cool. I think the action is great. I do want to see more of it. Like, I do want to see like some other gameplay, like some more examples of like, from the hands of a human. I want to see how well it plays there and whatnot. But right now, from this footage
real?
here, yeah, that too, because we have definitely had this issue with believing like Chinese and Korean games looking so crazy that we just kind of like, is this really a thing y'all putting out, or y'all trying to sell
but
us
the last time people really said that was Wukong, and I mean, like that came out.
It's real.
It's not perfect, but it was like a really good game. People liked it a lot. So
I know.
And all the silly shit that you thought you couldn't do, they let you do. So
even Phantom Blade Zero, people finally got their hands on that.
Yeah, that's been having this little demo world tour as of recently, and people are like really enjoying that a lot from what I've been hearing.
Forgot that was the thing.
That's the one for me.
Yeah, so I think this can probably stand on its own. Like I gotta say, shout outs to China and South Korea. They are stepping in and being like, "Hey, we got games too. We can really make something like of like circumstantial substance, like of like huge substance. We can make like really big games here,
and not just MMOs and phone games.
Yeah, not just MMOs and gacha games. We got real deal console games over here."
So the last game on the list is FBC Firebreak. It's a cooperative first-person shooter set within a mysterious federal agency under assault by otherworldly forces. As a years-long siege on the agency's headquarters reaches its boiling point, only Firebreak, the Bureau's most versatile unit, has the gear and the guts to plunge into the building's strangest crises, restore order, and blast their way back from the brink. Dive into the Federal Bureau of Control's unpredictable and extra-dimensional headquarters during its darkest and strangest hours. As one of the FBC's fearless first responders, you and your team are on call to confront everything from reality-warping anomalies to otherworldly monsters. No matter the odds, will you contain the chaos or finally lose control? Before deploying, you get to select your weapons. Firebreaker Crisis Kit equipped with special tools, grenades, support items, paranatural augments, and then modify them to suit your strategy. It does send you back to the world of Control. Yeah, it's just a 3-player action game. That's the gist of it. Terrence, you're the lead on this one. What'd you think?
First off, the idea of Remedy doing a multiplayer game in the universe, in the Control universe, that's I did not see that coming at all. Like, this is actually really dope. This is a surprise. I totally did not see this coming. This was like very out of left field. I hope Remedy knocks it out of the park. Like, this is their first time doing something multiplayer related, right?
That I think I do remember this being like talked about at one point, but yeah, this is the first time I think they've done anything multiplayer.
Yeah, and the fact that like all the things that they show, there's a lot of callbacks to Control. You're fighting the Hiss in this. I'm very curious to see like if there's any like further lore that's explored in this, like if there's like stuff that happened in Control 1 that you revisit, or like how exactly stuff that you did in Control 1 affects this game, like where in the timeline does it take place? Like, yeah, there's a lot of potential here. Like, I think this is really cool that Remedy's doing this. I think this will be a cool experiment. Hopefully it pays off for them.
Rakeem, what'd you think of this?
As soon as I saw it, I was like, Deep Rock Galactic? That's the vibe I get off of it, just like the style of game. And I really like Deep Rock Galactic, so if it's like Deep Rock Galactic, I might actually be really interested. I thought it was cool. I'm just not, I'm not in tune to this specific Remedy universe, so I'm not as, attracted to this universe, but I'm always down with some dumb fun. And if it's fun, let the homie have some. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's fun, let the homie have some. So I try it out. Shoot, let's see it's with the FBC, the fire and the breaking. I'm down with the fire. I'm down with the breaking. Let's see what happens.
All right, Devin, what about you, man?
This actually looks pretty cool. This puts me in the mindset of like some like special agent, like Ghostbusters. Really has a Backrooms vibe to it. And like it's almost if like did like more sci-fi, but made like Team Fortress like a horde shooter. Like this is kind of what it puts me in the mind of. But yeah, this looks pretty fun. I did like what King said. I definitely play this. I have Control and I played like very little of it. I need to go back and beat the game, so I don't really know any like lore wise. But this looks cool. Like I like the aesthetic of it. And it looks fun, and I like first person shooters. If the shooting is solid, they got some cool abilities. I'm pretty sure they look like they got maybe like some classes out of soon, and different weapons and stuff. This looks pretty dope.
Okay. Will, what about you, man?
This game looks pretty dope to me. Like I said, I'm not really well versed in that universe, but this looks like one of those games you definitely get your friends on and you just hop in and just get the mowing stuff down, cleaning things up in the universe. I think it's a good game for a lot of people who enjoy Control and for people who like really are into it. And if you got a couple friends that have played Control as well and they like it, by all means, get on. I can also see this being one of those streamer games that'll probably have a good solid maybe a week or two on the front page for people who really like this game. So I can see that being a thing. It could be something I see myself getting into.
So that was it. That was our reaction to the Xbox partner preview. But we do have one more game I want to check out that was also shown off today. Project Ethos from the studio 31st Union.
I hope FBC Firebreak isn't like Rainbow Six Outbreak, which was god awful. That game sucked.
Yeah, what was that the one that was originally called like Rainbow Six Pandemic or some shit like that?
Yeah, it was like a game mode in Rainbow Six, and they made it its own game.
It was
bad. Yeah,
it was an extraction game. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't even remember the name.
I think that's
how bad it was.
Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
Damage from
I was
distance.
wrong. It don't matter. It was bad. It was all bad. Don't ever play that game.
Project
Ever.
Ethos is a new free-to-play third-person hero extraction shooter that mixes in roguelike elements. The main game of Project Ethos is an
It
extraction
does,
mode.
man.
And
Actually, it
while
does
I
feel
was
like
excited
Fortnite.
to finally see 31st Union's
Oh,
first
God, that
project
is
since its
very-
formation
that is
in
very
2019,
Fortnite.
I
Okay, I see
couldn't
the
help
slide
but
on
feel
you.
that a lot of the
Yeah,
mechanics
moving
felt
slide
like they
came
belonged
on.
in
I have
games
seen
from
this
that year.
before now that I recognize it a bit now.
IUJ that dude this looks like
Here's the
Fortnite.
thing. Project Ethos is
No,
fine
it ain't
as a
just-
game.
this
It hits
just looks-
all the right notes as an
It
extraction
looks
shooter
very
and
much like
first
Fortnite.
shooter. But my first impression after a
Alright.
few hours of hands-on time is that it seems to fall short of delivering anything that's truly genre-defying in either the roguelike or extraction shooter departments. In the preview, I was able to play 6 different heroes, each, as you'd expect, with their own abilities and weapons. This forces players to really get comfortable with that character's abilities
say
as a
this.
secondary, since abilities
like
in
the
a hero
majority of the
shooter
cast are
are
people of
only
color.
meant to
That's
enhance
dope.
your playstyle. Your
I did
gunplay
notice
is
that.
first, and Project Ethos has some fun
Yeah.
sets of weapons that I thoroughly enjoyed playing with. The learning curve with characters and abilities was fairly low, so new players won't feel too
You know,
out of
it's
the water
interesting,
when
like,
entering Project Ethos. Trials mode is PvP.
The weapons look very
meaning
sci-fi
you'll be playing
inspired.
against real players
Yep.
as well as NPC
But the characters
enemies
look
that
very
exist in the
down to
map.
earth.
The matches you
True.
queue
Like
into
almost
are
realistic.
persistent,
Yeah, it's a
meaning
very
each
different
time
vibe.
you enter a game, other players have been playing in that match for quite some time. You can see how much time is left in the match every time you queue in. With persistent matches, this also means that when you drop into a game, you might end up landing closer to some enemies who are running throughout the map. This also means you'll encounter players who are higher level than you. Each Trials match has its own leveling system. You earn XP from collecting XP shards from different loot bins you come across, from killing enemies, and from completing events that randomly trigger throughout the map. The events that could spawn into the map were a bit confusing at first look. It was hard to see where some of the events were happening just by looking at the overall map. You'd have to really be looking at your immediate vicinity to find the local event and then go activate it. After a few rounds of play, I got used to this method, but it was frustrating not to see the minor events on the map. When you level up in a match, you'll be able to pick one of 3 different power-ups for your character. There's a pool of 27 different power-ups to build your playstyle, and this is where the roguelike element comes into play. You can earn up to 9 different power-ups in one extraction run if you choose to stay in the game for that long.
It's like
and
Heroes
level.
of the Storm.
The random events that spawn across the map involve different activities that will unlock a big loot chest with bigger XP boosts, weapon enhancements, and cores. Cores are the big ticket items you'll be wanting to collect in each run, since extracting with cores will let you buy augments in the main hub. These boost the ability to get power-ups faster, give you health drops from the NPC bots that you find in-game, and other bonuses. None of these augments boost your damage towards other players though, so it's fairly balanced in that regard. Trials overall felt fairly balanced in gameplay, since you could decide to disengage from fights if things
It's kind
felt
of
too
look like
dicey.
Hulk as well.
It felt like a proper survival
I can see
experience
that.
with your typical extraction shooters. While you could feel the imbalance of characters' weapons, with one having higher DPS than the other, you still had the method of escaping to offset that issue. In the second game mode I was able to play, called Gauntlet, there was no escaping. You're put into a 3v3v3v3 matchup where you're playing against another team in a small arena. The first team to score 3 victories wins. You're in a server full of other teams, since who you face will change each time in a Dutch round-robin format. So you will always only be playing one team, so it'll be 3v3, and then who you play will change each round. So I'm very new to a Dutch round-robin format, but from what I garnered, this format pits the bottom half of the teams against the top half of the teams. So Team 1 faces Team 5, and Team 2 faces Team 6.
Okay.
By the definition of Dutch round-robin, you shouldn't be facing a team more than twice. Regardless, this format was the one thing that worked for this game mode. Gauntlet really showed the imbalance of the character abilities and weapons, since you're forced to face your opponents head-on with very little play space. The sniper character Prism is incredibly strong, and her primary beam weapon melts opponents quickly in close range, and her sniper rifle allows her to deal devastating damage from a distance. Pairing that with her E ability, where she throws up a prism field that increases the damage output, makes her an incredibly tough character to beat, specifically in Gauntlet. In Gauntlet, you still have the roguelike element of having to choose from selections of your power-ups. This further displayed the imbalance of character damage and powers. However, I did like the competitive aspect of Gauntlet over Trials. It showed a lot of promise of what competitive play could feel like in Project Ethos. The gameplay loop of Trials and Gauntlet are very cookie-cutter and unexciting. They aren't experiences that you can't get anywhere else that you've already invested your time in. Fortnite came to mind as I played Project Ethos, and I found myself comparing some of the mechanics that exist in Fortnite that Project Ethos could vastly benefit from. Overall, I truly did enjoy my time with Project Ethos, but in the end, I was left feeling disappointed with the game so far as a whole. Project Ethos ultimately plays well, is enjoyable, and utilizes the extraction and roguelike aspects to its advantage, but at first impression, it fails at being a new experience that people will crave to play over and over again. For more on the latest upcoming games, don't miss our previews of Sand and Stalker 2. And for everything else in the world of video,
well, at least she was honest about
extraction shooter that
She was honest about it.
I see the extraction elements, and there's definitely some hero shooter elements in it too. It doesn't, outside, I guess, changing through your abilities, doesn't really feel heavily roguelike, though.
I think it's just the change in abilities. They just wanted that in there just to, it's like you said, it's a hot button. It's like, hey, man, this is the thing that's hot right now. We'll find a way to include it some kind of way.
Right.
Devin, what'd you think of it?
It's just, I don't know. To me, it don't look inspired enough. Like, I'm getting vibes of Hulk, Scavengers, and Fortnite kind of all in one, but mainly Fortnite and Hulk, because I think Hulk was an extraction shooter. It looks okay. Like the visuals are okay. I do like the character design. Some of the character designs are pretty cool, but it just, I don't know. I probably play this for a little while, but it's nothing I'd be like I'd sink time into. But I see what they're trying to do, something new, kind of more of a sci-fi vibe with this type of setup. But yeah, this to me, this look kind of mid. I ain't gonna lie.
I saw somebody say that they should learn from Fortnite's character designs, and I got a good laugh out of that because I was like, at this stage, nobody's playing as the regular Fortnite characters. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I will back that
fictional
though.
character. Well, yeah,
I will back that. They have some original character designs are A1. So I got to back them on that one because they got some original characters in that game that look awesome. I know everybody play with the Goku, Naruto, and is Ichigo in Fortnite now?
Yeah,
No,
Naruto is, Superman is,
Goku is,
fucking RoboCop. I think is in that bitch.
Gohan, Piccolo,
everybody in
Jill
Marvel at
and
this
Chris.
point.
I think the Turtles in that bitch at this point.
Shit, I might be in that bitch. I
Edward
need to check.
Scissorhands is in there.
But I do agree with the Fortnite. Their original characters, they got some good, really talented artists that do some very unique designs for characters. Like if you go look at their acts, like story mode, they got some pretty good stuff in there. So I actually
Story mode.
Yeah, I didn't even know that there was a...
there's like an overarching story of Fortnite.
Right.
Seasons and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the seasonal content. I can back him up on that. I played a little bit of Fortnite, but there are some really cool designs, especially like the evolution designs where the character will change and like level up over time. Those look really cool.
Yeah,
Fair
those
enough.
are cool.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Will, you're the other multiplayer guy, the big multiplayer guy, at least for the streams and whatnot. What do you think?
Yeah. It's okay, but I definitely got Fortnite vibes off it like immediately. When I looked down, I was like, this feels like Fortnite.
I mean, it didn't help that it starts out with you diving off in front of the sky.
Yeah, like
that was like I don't know no extraction game that starts that way.
Neither do I.
I think the Scavenger start that way.
Okay, so there might be one.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm sure because there's a lot of extraction games. Really, like only a couple of them are hot, but like there's a lot of extraction games. I take that back. But yeah, I mean, like I don't know, it does give Fortnite vibes. What were you saying, Will?
Yeah, I was just trying to say it really just gives Fortnite vibes to me. Like the minute I see it, I was like, this really feels like Fortnite. It really does, just based on like how the characters kind of stood. Because once you finally put the trailer on the screen, and I looked, I was like, oh, I've seen this before. Yeah. Okay, I recognize what this is now. Thank you for bringing it back to the forefront of my mind now.
You must have saw this earlier today because it just got revealed.
Yeah, I think I might have seen this earlier. So I was like, I've seen this before. I don't think it's something I'll find myself playing right now, but I think it can benefit from some changes. I think the gauntlet thing is very interesting. That right there in of itself is kind of interesting with the way they kind of have the format set up. I think that's pretty cool. But other than that, it could take some changes along the way to kind of help it stand on its own. Even though it has some things that it can do that Fortnite doesn't, but with the way Fortnite does things like through events and whatnot, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up getting to a point where Fortnite does something like this and somehow manages. Well, they did kind of do something like this now that I think about it.
Fortnite extraction.
they well, not necessarily extraction, but like with the abilities thing that they talking about, you can get, the cards. Yeah, they kind of did something like this already before in a season. And I played that season a lot because I got like about 100 hours in Fortnite. So yeah, it's something. It's something. I'll say this game is what it's gonna be before it comes out. I can't say. It's something.
Rakeem, you see yourself playing this with the guys?
I don't know if I can get the guys to play this.
There you go.
So the first thing we all kind of agree, it kind of has some Fortnite vibes. The second thing is, like, I do like the diversity in the cast, but I do feel like there's something missing from the designs themselves that, like, ooh, who is that? Like, when I play a game where you focus on heroes of any kind, I want to see a character, like, I want to play that guy. Who is that? Whoa, what's going on with this? I don't get that vibe from these characters, so they're not like jumping out to me. I do like this skill system they have. It reminds me of Heroes of the Storm, where if you guys play Heroes of the Storm, even though it was a MOBA game, a completely different genre, it's level up system. Instead of having items like traditional MOBAs, you had these level up skill trees that allows you to pick certain skills and certain upgrades for your character. And these are very similar to these. This reminds me a lot of that. And I always like that system. So that's got something going for it. Yeah, I think the best way to describe it just doesn't feel as inspired. Like, I think the ideas can work, but like the way the presentation needs to go up too. Like, if the presentation was a little better, it didn't feel like it was a little bit derivative of other things, which is a problem for any game that's trying to do something similar to Extraction or Battle Royale at all. Now it's like, it's kind of a catch-22. You feel like you're just a little bit too late. Where if you did this 5 years ago, you may have had something you could work with.
That is,
I don't know, man.
That is how Stella started off the video, but saying it feels like a game from 2019, and that's when the studio was formed. So it's like, all right.
Right. So yeah, I just feel like it's a little too late. I would try it just for that, like that skill system. I do like that skill system. That does look pretty cool. But other than that, it's just not something I can see myself playing or keeping my attention. Like the first time I saw Reinhardt in Overwatch, and I knew I loved that character immediately. Like there's nothing like that for me here in this case.
The reason why Blizzard was Blizzard for so long. Terrence, you got any thoughts?
I agree pretty much with what Rakeem said, is that the designs, while I do appreciate that the majority of them look like people of color, I do admit that they don't like stand out in a great way. They're not on the Concord level of where it's like something's just off. I mean, there's something still off here, but it feels like they just aren't. They're a few touches away from being taken to the next level, I feel like. Yeah, in regards to like the gameplay, I mean, you all have spoken on that, and you're you're way more accustomed to these style of games than I am, so I'm not going to speak on that. But just from the look of things, yeah, and even just the way Stella reviewed the game or just did the preview, it just feels like this needs to be in the oven a little bit longer. Like they just need to add some more ingredients to it, add a little bit more seasoning, put it back in the oven, maybe let it sit there for like a year or two, and then bring it back out. And hopefully by then the genre will still be alive, because I will admit, like, I can understand why they maybe want to bring this out now, is because at least the genre still has some life to it, whereas if they wait too long, you know, the iron might not be hot anymore. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope that maybe they can take the feedback that they can get and polish some things up and make it a better game.
Well, it is in early access, so hopefully, you know, people get a chance, because I think there's a playtest this weekend.
Okay, I might try it out just to see.
I might have read that. Like, I'll have to
if it can change my mind.
But I mean, like, yeah, one thing I'll say, it is getting weird that we have come back around to like the gray and brown shooters, where it's like every game is super duper colorful. And it's like, I mean, like, no matter what it is, if you do it a bunch, people are going to get tired of it.
That's just true.
So
even if it's good.
Even if it's good, we're at the point now where it's like, all right, man, everything can't be super duper colorful. Yeah, a limited time community playtest is available now for PC. So if you want to try it out, it's available for you to try it out. Okay. I don't know if you have to sign up process or anything like that, but you can go look it up at least. Let me see if it's on. No, it's just we're live for one weekend. during any active Project Ethos stream. Simply tune into a partner creator, watch 30 minutes of their stream, complete the necessary registration steps to earn a Steam key. So basically just Steam drops. So it's all on Twitch. It should all be on Twitch right now. You know, it's the same standard. We're going to reach out to the most popular streamers. We're going to have them play it for a weekend. We're going to see if we can get I don't know if, like, I think that kind of hit its end really with Hyperscape. And you know how long ago Hyperscape was. So I don't know if that works for games that people already don't want. It will get people to try it. But if it's not already a game that people want, I mean, like, good luck.
But I agree, man. I feel like the value of like certain streamers playing your game, especially ones that are like not typically what they play, I feel like that's kind of going out the window a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not really helping.
And it's another thing that this game is another victim of, like, how long it takes to make a game now. Because this studio started in 2019, and this game is in early access, you'd assume, right now. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, this game took effectively 5 years to get off the ground. If it comes out next year, it'll be like kind of 5-ish years. And it's like, yep, this is a different era. And it feels like a different era. And I don't know, like, there are only so many games. Like, you have to be really on the ball. And you almost have to be able to see ahead. Like, okay, like, this is what people want now. What are they going to want 5 years from now? They're probably not still going to want to be playing the same thing. Because, like, Battle Royales used to be the thing in 2020. And, I mean, like, you've got 2 or 3 now, and then all the rest are dead. So you got to really think about it. Like, extraction shooters were hot a couple of years ago, kind of, sort of. Because, I mean, like, again, I can only think of a handful that were ever really popular. At least with Battle Royales, multiple of them were popular at one point. And then they just all kind of died. This, it's like, man, I mean, like, there only ever been a couple that were hits. So I don't know, but we'll see. It is interesting. I there was a list. Shinobi 602, I think, put out a list of, like, developers that were brand new and working on new IPs or working on new video games. And he put out a list that was like 30 fucking studios long. And we've seen about 8 of them, and about half of them have been kind of like not great. And hopefully this one is hopefully it lasts at least a year or two. Because that Concord shit, like, you can't have too many more like that. And it's not even like from a meme perspective. Like, gaming industry as a whole can't take too many more games that just come out and fail within 13 days or whatever the fuck it was.
That's crazy.
You can't be flushing money down the toilet.
That right there will cause investors to leave really quickly.
Immediately.
But yeah, that wraps this stream up, or that wraps this podcast up. I just wanted to give everybody a look at this. Hopefully everybody enjoyed our reactions, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.